in case anybody's wondering, because people often wonder, where do I rank these? Like, yes, like a lot of people would say that they are the most comfortable pair out there as far as Ultra Boosts go. And I might even go as far to say that they're better than the 350. Well, in a lot of ways, I would say that I would pick this over the 350 if I had to choose. So there's that for you. What's going on, people? Don't need these. So this right here, this is an Adidas box, right? There's a side of the box there for you so you can know what's on the inside in case you happen to miss that big old thumbnail that you can't really get to this video without seeing. But anyways, the other day, I did that double unboxing with Predator Minute Podcast, who, as I said before, has a very impressive Ultra Boost collection and is totally worth checking out. So we did the double unboxing the other day, right? And you probably saw I had this pair and I had this pair. The reason I have these is because this is the order I put in first, but then Adidas was like, oh, your order's going to be delayed. So me being me, I'm like, well, I'll just cancel that one and order some different ones because they had released some other colors that day. So I made this order, and then I go to cancel this one, and they're like, oh, no, it's too late to cancel that. I'm like, all right, whatever, you got me. I'm just getting both pairs then. So here we are. And now it's review time on these, right? I mean, I say that a little prematurely in some ways, but it is, you know. I I actually kind of think I might like this pair more already. You know, this one, yeah, I like the more colorful things. A lot of people have caught on to that. But they didn't show these until they had actually released. You know what I mean? Like, it was the day, I think these came out on the 28th. I think that was like their initial sale date or something. And these were put up like a day or two later. But had these been up there day one or before day one, like these, then yeah, this probably would have been the sole purchase. But that's not the way things worked out, so whatever. But looking over these, everything's looking pretty good, very bright, so that's one of the things I do like about them. But let's go ahead and talk about them so you can see what else I do like about them, which means that it is now review time on this right here, ladies and gentlemen, the Adidas Ultraboost 21 in solar yellow, and screaming green. Excuse me, screaming pink. I say solar yellow twice because they said it twice on the webpage. Alright, so here's the thing. We're going to kick things off at the bottom. Down there, what you're looking at, right? Standard stretch web outsole. I'm going to say that a few times until it gets stuck in my head and I don't have to think about it so much when I'm ready to say it. So, Continental rubber is going on down there, so that's always a nice touch. You also got a fair amount of this green color, or the solar yellow. That metallic pink is down in there as well. That looks very awesome. It's going to look probably pretty bad later. And then you've got in the very middle, you've got the kind of that opaque white sort of thing going on, more transparent than white, I guess. And you may notice that there's no torsion system down there. Instead, what you do have is this Adidas LEP, which is what? Linear energy something or other. I forget exactly what it says or what it stands for, but basically it has to do with how the shoe moves between the front and the back, making it more fluid when you're running. So there's that. It's a new thing they're doing. And then down here in the middle, which I pointed out last time, it does say boost in the boost. So there you go with that. And moving back up here to the midsole, right? So on the midsole, once again, you've got this very, very chunky boost going on, especially in the back. Right, so that is pretty crazy when you look at it. But if you switch the thing around to the back, right, you can kind of see that where the boost is on the outside, it looks super high, but in the middle, it does dip down. So when you're actually wearing these, your feet sit a little lower than the height of the boost. So you're not going to be feeling like you're wearing like heels or something. I would assume that's how that feels anyway. And it's not going to feel like those 720s, which I also don't like. But anyways. So here's the thing, right? Moving on past that, it's just going to be your standard boost that's in here, just more of it. 6% from what they say. And now, we'll go ahead and we'll tackle this here upper, right? So on the upper, this is going to be fairly quick because it's very much all one color, right? So around here, you have a stiffer toe box, right? But that's not bad. I'm just saying it is stiffer than the past Ultra Boost. And that's going to be in that solar yellow. You have a slightly lighter shade up here making up the mesh of the top area of the toe box. And so that kind of also reminds me, like I said before, of the Ultraboost 2.0 styling. And that lighter color dips down all the way back to around where the middle of the shoe is, just past the middle. But speaking of the middle, you do have this cage here, which feels a little sturdier than the cage on the other 21s that I reviewed. So I'm guessing that's just a thing you'll have to get used to if you buy a few pairs of these. I do prefer the other ones overall though, just by the look. You know, this one, I don't know, just the way this green comes off, I just don't really like it. But anyways, moving further back, you've got down here the standard metallic looking heel cup area, right? So that's one of the touches that I do like that they added onto here. On the outside, it is labeled with Ultraboost. On the inside, there is no label, but above that, it does say Prime Knit. So again, labeling what you're looking at. That makes 3 times on this one shoe. It's kind of weird in a way, and when you think about it like that. Also, on that back area here, it is, like I was saying yesterday, it's a slight different material from past ones and all that, but it feels really nice to the touch on the outside. It feels a little different than the ones that I'm wearing right now, actually. So this one feels like a tennis ball. That's the best way to put it. It also kind of looks like a tennis ball. But anyway, so moving on past that, we're just going to go ahead and bring things back over here to the front area real quick and wrap things up. So the lacing area, right? Standard flat laces, this time in that solar yellow that they like to use. And then above that, you do have the top of the tongue where there is the Adidas logo with the 3 stripes, right? So that, the other one was 3M. This one, it feels like it's just a piece of plastic on there. So I don't know if there will be any reflection or anything, but that will be something I figure out eventually. And then moving on to the insole here, the inside, like the sock line and stuff. At the back, you do have a much wider pull tab going on compared to previous years. So that's good, and it's got this neoprene kind of feel in here. It doesn't feel as smooth as the last one did, but it looks better than the last one did. So it's a toss-up in my eyes of which one I would prefer. And then going down here just a little further, they do have those little pillowy areas in here to keep your foot all nice and cushioned. So that's always a plus. And then obviously the rest of it is just kind of like just your standard knitted material. So moving on to the insole, you do have that prime blue made with Parley Ocean plastic. The percentage, I'm not quite sure, just like I said the other day, because it's like, I'll say, oh, it's going to be 25% of 50% of the upper is made. It's like, why can't you be more straightforward with this, people? But anyway, so that's mostly the shoe, right? Honestly, on the outside. And just right off the top, I will say that as a visual, I like this one way more than the other one. I kind of alluded to that before, but now I'll say it straight out so you don't have to guess. I mean, I just like colorful things, you know? But I'm sure there will be some other colorful ones coming out as spring and summer approach, and then I'll start buying more pairs, more than likely. But first off, I do want to see how these things actually feel when I, actually run in them. One thing that I did forget to mention, I just realized this because, there's not one on this side. On the outside and on the inside, you do have an indentation in where the boost is. But on the outside, it's actually colored in. You can kind of see that a little bit down in there, right? So it kind of goes just from like the standard green to that screaming pink, which is one of the weirdest names I've heard in a while. But anyway, so there's that. I believe we've covered everything. So we will move on to the sizing, right? That seems to make sense. So here's what I'm going to say, right? Sizing wise, these things are coming in at a true to size fit for me, right? They fit like every other Ultraboost. They do feel just a little more snug than the 20s did, so you can expect a slight difference there. But if you've had previous year Ultraboost, it's going to be closer to what you might be used to anyway. So there's that for everybody. Wherever you fall in the past Ultraboost spectrum, hopefully that what I just said helps you. So there's that. Anyways, moving on to the feeling and all that good stuff. Again, even though they do feel snug, they're still very stretchy and everything. So overall, they feel really good. Like some people, I know John was from Better Minute Podcast was saying that these feel super great to him, and I think it was Ryan Curtis also said he was digging them a fair amount. So they seem to be getting some pretty good reviews from the people who have commented on my things that I generally talk to, which is good because I value their opinions. So I'm going to pass that on from me as well. I do think that these are feeling pretty nice. They're just not run out and buy them right now nice. personal opinion, of course. If you got the money for it, do whatever you do. But past that though, the feeling of this boost and everything, it's very nice, and the way they did this extra tilt in the back, it does kind of help with just, a more natural foot strike in some kind of ways. And like I said, I am still a little on the fence about how these will feel when I actually run in them, but going by some of the things I've noticed, I'm thinking that I'm going to like them a fair amount, but I just won't have that answer till a little bit later. And as far as everything else goes, I don't think I have left any stone unturned as far as the comfort and sizing of this. So just know it gets a solid thumbs up from me. And I think that's enough to wrap that up. But anyways, I don't have anything else to say at all about these. I've already given my personal thoughts and all that good stuff. So I say we can just go ahead and wrap this review up, and then I can move on with my day. And you can too. So have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm going to shoot one more video, which is super important, so be sure to watch that. And that's it for me. So later, people.